Okay, here we go with Anything Goes. Apropos. I'm going to do this in A flat. I'm not doing the verse, and I'd like to learn the verse someday, but I didn't have it right now. The verse, just to be clear, it's almost like a little song that sets up the song that you're thinking of. Anything Goes has a really cool verse. I took this from the Frank Sinatra version in the 50s, but there's a lot of different versions and often done in different keys. So Frank was in A flat. Pretty easy to move that to G. You can do all these moves one fret down and everything will be fine. Okay, let's just start with, I'll just play it one time through, and then I'll break down little parts to explain them better, and then I will give a couple of moves that you could do in different places to make it more interesting for yourself, sort of ornate. There's a couple of parts. It's really important on a song like this to know the melody, because there's often long stretches where there's not a lot going on, and then there'll be a kind of a unique chord progression all of a sudden, and it's good to know the melody and be seeing it in your head so you can not lose place. Okay, so here we go. I'm about to move. This is probably the last video. I know this will be the last video we do from this room here. Still going to be in Austin, Texas, though. Okay, so A flat. I'm going to just play it through one time. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. In days, a glimpse of stocking was looked at as something shocking. Heaven knows, anything goes. Sorry, flubbed a little bit on that bridge, but I just hit 2 bars instead of 4. We fixed it though. So that's really the rough outline, right? So let's just take it little chunks at a time. In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked at as something shocking. Now heaven knows, anything goes. And a turnaround. Okay? So, and then it repeats that, and it does that at the very end of the song as well, the end of the form, I should say. So what we're doing is we're buying time with an A flat by moving it around. A flat, this is E flat with the 5th in the bass, a B flat note in the bass. A flat, this is the A flat with the 3rd in the bass. So this is a good song to drill, learning all the inversions. You could keep going up and get more complicated and hit all the inversions, but in fact, I think a piano or somebody on this, I heard some version. I listened to a lot of versions, but somebody was doing that at one point. Anyway, once again, from the top, A flat, E flat, A flat with C in the bass, back the way you came, up, same way. Now, on this last measure, we're going to turn this into an A7, A flat 7. So why not get this other inversion here? This is A flat with the 5th or the E flat in the bass. That folds over nicely into the 4 chord, the D flat chord. And in what I've done so far when I was playing it, I just played a full measure of D flat, a full measure of D flat minor, and then I did the little turnaround. So let's do that first, then I'll show you some other things you might do to it. Here we go from the top again, the beginning. A flat, 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked at as something shocking. Now heaven knows, 3, 4, 1, anything goes. Okay, so we'll repeat it because it would repeat it again. And then in the next, yeah, let's do it. Now this time, this is just one, it won't do the turnaround because it wants to go to the bridge. So it hits A flat for a full measure. And then G7, and that sets up the bridge. So I'm going to play that last section of the song again, the second time through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you go to the bridge. Okay. This is cool. It's going to be a C chord. G7, C minor, G7, and now a C minor with the line that's, I call it a minor standard line. It's basically, it's the C, B, which is, you could call it a major 7 in the key of C if you wanted to. That's a B flat, so it's a C minor 7. And that's an A, makes it C minor 6. Also, you could call it F7, F9, F7, I guess. Okay, so this is what that's going to sound like. There's two ways. I'm going to do both, and then I'm going to choose one for now. Okay, that's totally C minor with a major 7, C minor with a minor 7. Then it drops down. This is a peculiar modulation. D7 for 2 beats. Down a fret, back to D7, and then a measure of E flat 7. And what all that sounds like is and then you're back into the tune. Another way to do that C minor line is to play it your C minor chord like that. And now it looks like a big stretch, but it really is not so bad in the middle of the neck after a few tries. This is your root. This is the C. C note. Root is in the bass. My ring finger is on there. First finger is on the 5th. It's a G note. It's the D string, 5th fret. Pinky is on the flat 3rd. That's what makes it minor. If I did this, it would be a major chord. Now it's a minor chord. Okay, in this song you just need minor. Now what's handy about this is it pretty readily accommodates that idea of moving that bass note down. You can either slide that finger like that, or you can change it right away. Whatever it takes you to do that. And then when you get to the last note, which is the A, you'll move the whole thing down. It looks like a shortened version of that. That would be, this is all we need. And what this is an F chord with the 3rd in the bass. This note is the 3rd in the bass. It's on the A, 5th fret. That's the F, that's the root right there in the middle. 3rd fret. That's the 5th. So we don't have a 7th in here. I could grab it with this finger if I wanted to, or I could even stretch, but I wouldn't do that today for this. Okay, so that'll sound like this. And then the D. So I like either one, and I almost prefer this. I think it shows the D as more of a dramatic change than when you're already kind of there, you know. Okay, just a choice. it's really good. As I said, know that melody because it's just silly so and so's. I guess the women prize today are just silly gigolos or something. Sorry, I don't know the words. I try to make it a rule to learn the words before I learn the tune, but sometimes I have to learn the song before I get to the words. Okay, going to go through the, you return now to what you call an A part, right? The same thing as like you've played in the beginning of the song to finish the form. And this time I'll add a couple of more moves just to make it more interesting. Start slowly though. A flat. So none of that is written in the song on the D chord, but it makes it sort of fun. Instead of just playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The D flat major is a D flat minor. So I'm going to hit 2 beats of the D flat major. Then I'm going to move this note, which is a root, to here. But I have to move more fingers to accommodate that idea. Okay? So what you've got is this 3-note is root, major 7, and third. And it's a major third, so we're still on the major chord. So that's, you could do this or this. Either one. All notes that I'm playing are on the same fret. This, skip the A string, and then the D string and the G string. And this is a D flat minor 7. And then D flat minor 6, and you could do this too. This is a good drill for your fingers if you're not already familiar with this. It's a 1-note change, but 2-finger change to it because you're just trying to get the note behind it here. So you switch them around. Okay, so in fact, I could pause there for a moment and say a good drill. All right, is a good drill. This is D flat major 7. You don't even really need this top note. And you can start that way. D flat major 7. Change this middle note for this one instead. D flat major 6. I'm putting my finger way out of the way. That's awkward, but I'm just so you can see it better. And then you bring these 2 fingers down. Or 2-finger change. That's what we were talking about before. It's a 1-note change, but a 2-finger change. That's a good drill. So what that is 4 major, 4 minor. But it sounds cool. So you could do it that way, or the way I had done it before. I didn't worry about the 6 on the major. Let me show you what I mean. I went D flat major 7, and then D flat minor 7, and D flat minor 6. And what I ended up with that way is, okay, over the 2-chord change. That's a lot of talking. It's a lot of stuff. Just pick one of the versions that you like and keep in mind that this is what you need. 1 measure of major, 1 measure of minor. And you want to mix them up a little bit. Yeah. That's great. Or, I mean, that was pretty plain. But, you be the judge. And then you could you could dress it up, but I don't know that I really want to go a lot further than that, because it's not really the song anymore. It's just stuff, and I think I'll save some of that. Mostly, not because I'm trying to keep it to myself, but mostly because I haven't really played this song long enough to feel confident that I'm doing something tasteful. Okay, so more to come. I'll say the drill I just kind of pointed out that over here in the D flat, practice that over A flat too, because in the Ella Fitzgerald version, I think I heard, and this is probably done all the time. It's a pretty standard idea for an orchestra when there's a long. In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked at as something shocking. Right? You could have played like that A flat chord the whole time, and so an orchestra might dress up that. So the rhythm might be playing something really straight to allow a palette, a background canvas for the strings or the reeds or someone else to move around, and that is supposed to accompany the singer nicely. So with that spiel in mind, let's say you could a drill, right? And what that is A flat major. And what I'm really doing is I'm hearing this fifth. And then when I go to the sixth, I hear that. And the seventh. So I'm hearing this note. Right? I'm hearing those notes against A flat. In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked at as something shocking. Heaven, that's the A flat 7. Heaven knows. So when the 5th, the 6th, the 7, the flat 7. Now heaven, D flat major, knows. Then the D flat minor. Anything goes. You're back in an A flat chord. How about that? I shouldn't do that right now. Let's see how good one is it. D flat major. I put the 5th in the bass. It sounds warm and smooth. This is the root here, but right, and then it looks sort of like a B flat minor chord, or you could just make an A minor and push it up a fret and drop this finger on, and then put it over on the 5th. Nice smooth western swing jazz chord. The minor version of this, we're going to grab the root after all with the 2nd finger. 1st finger goes 3rd fret, G string. Okay, that's and then let's see, I forgot what chord I was playing. Pinky is on the minor 3rd. That's the B string, 5th fret. And if you can squeeze it in, it's not really necessary for rhythm that much. The ring finger bent over here on the 4th fret, high E string, is catching the 5th. It's a nice chord used for, it could be, if this was the root, it would be an F sharp 9 or 7. In this case, it's a D flat minor. You don't need to know that, really. Just play it. Here's D flat major, D flat minor. You could also do this. Here's that D. Remember, on the D flat major, I said you could put your pinky here on the root. Nothing wrong with that. It's just you'd have 2 roots, and it's a little plain sounding. So you put the 5th in the bass, it warms it up. Okay, slide this up 3 frets. And you could leave the pinky there or put the 3rd in the bass. Either way. This is a peculiar note to choose, but I just like the sound of it. Okay, and that will sound like this. Instead of going down to this A flat, you could go to this A flat and work your way through that turnaround. Okay, well that should keep you busy. Enjoy that. It's a really fun song. Cole Porter just That guy had a million of them. And I'm going to move this week, and we'll see you soon. And feel free to request other songs. I like to know what people are listening to. Bye for now.